Well, as Rosalind mentioned, she is your Cengage representative. And my name is Nicole. I work with Rosalind, and my role is to help Rosalind work with her faculty, make sure that they are trained, set up, and ready to go at the start of the semester. I also help with trainings during the semester, as well as doing some troubleshooting. So there's like Rosalind is going to be and is your go-to person, but there's a lot of times where her and I might be consulting on the backside, and we're working together to help everything run smoothly at your school. So we want to make sure that spring semester goes very well. And so we're glad that Lisa was able to get all of us together to kind of show you what Cengage content looks like in D2L. Yes, in D2L. Oh my gosh, I almost said Canvas, but I'm like, this is not Canvas.
Oh, not Canvas.
No. So the school now, or I should say South Suburban, has now pretty much moved over from Moodle to D2L, which I know that it's kind of a transition, but I think that this is going to be better for everyone as far as the functionality and the layout that you get with D2L. So like I said, what I wanted to show you today is how to integrate any of your Cengage content into D2L. How many of you have used Cengage material in D2L already? Just curious. So I'm going to assume that everyone is going to be new to using Cengage materials in D2L. And if so, that's totally fine. Just wanted to know if anyone has any experience yet. All right, so what I'm going to do is to show you that once you get your D2L shell for spring, it's going to look slightly different. Your course names are going to be listed there. Lisa has given us permission to actually use her demo account so that I can show you what it looks like from the South Suburban side. So I'm going to click on our Cengage course that we have, and yours obviously is going to be titled your course. But once you get into it, you're going to have your course set up in many different ways. Some instructors like to set their course up by chapter. Some instructors like to set their course up by learning objective, and other instructors like to set it up by weeks. So typically you might find that, you may have these modules listed out and renamed as a weekly module, or like I said, maybe a topic or a chapter. So you can rename those modules however you see fit. But what I want to do is show you how to bring in some of that content. So for example, MindTap is a pre-built course, and it has activities that are aligned to whatever title you're using of Cengage. And so there's pre-built activities in there that you can select and decide to pull in to your course and have it supplement some of the activities that you already have in your D2L course. So to actually bring content into D2L, what you're going to want to do is click on Course Tools, Course Admin, and then when you come to Course Admin, you'll select Course Builder. And we do have some other resources that you can utilize that would go step by step through this. And I know Lisa is recording this too. So if you miss any steps, don't worry. We've got the resources available to help you go through this. All right. So here's where you may or may not have your modules already built out. But if you don't have your module built out and you need to build it, you can click Create Module. And I'm just going to do this for now, and then I'll delete it after I'm done. But I'm going to name mine week 1. And so within that week 1, you'll see that it's listed down here. I can drag it. I'm just going to put it near the Cengage one. Oops, I didn't want to open up Cengage. There we go. All right. So there it is. But now what I want to do is I want to bring content into it. So on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's a section that's titled Add Content. And here you'll see this tiny little square. If you hover over it, it says Cengage Mind Links. And so you can either click on it, or you can simply drag the icon over to the module. And then once you highlight the module that you'd like to drop the content into, just deselect your mouse. And then if you've never linked Cengage content to your D2L course, you will be first initially prompted to link to your Cengage instructor account. If you don't know your Cengage instructor account login information, feel free to reach out to Roslyn and we can get you your username and your password. So typically your Cengage username is going to be your campus email address. Your password, if you'd like, you can reset it when prompted, or you can ask us and we can reset it for you. Once you link to your Cengage instructor account, you won't have to do it again. So as you can see, because I've already linked Lisa's account to D2L, she won't have to link her account again. So the system already kind of remembers it on the back end. And so she just clicks on the link and then it brings her to a section where she can select whichever title that matches your course. So somebody mentioned that they taught psychology. So I'm just going to look. What you can do is you can use the search bar to search for your title. If you don't see your title here, don't be alarmed. Just reach out to Roslyn and say, hey, I'm looking for such and such title. It's not coming up in the list. Can you have the content delivered? Because the reason why you'll want to ask to make sure to get the content delivered is because everything that you see listed here is what we've already delivered to South Suburban to be used. So this is content that other faculty are using on campus. And so if you don't see your correct title and edition, just let us know and we can easily deliver that content so you can link to it. All right, so I am just randomly going to select a title and it's going to be Practical Real Estate Law. So once you find your title, you can click on Link to Course. And when you click on Link to Course, you're now going to be prompted with 4 different options. If you have never used Cengage, a Cengage course before, and we have not helped you with customizing and personalizing the MindTap, you will most likely want to create a new MindTap course. I will warn you though, when you create a new MindTap course, it is one that has no modifications made to it. But if you have worked on your MindTap course, or maybe one of us internally at Cengage has helped you with making those adjustments, you may be copying, or I should say linking to an existing course. So you may already have that MindTap course in your Cengage account, and all you need to do is simply link to it. If you are copying from another instructor's course, so say that you might be a part-time faculty and you are getting a course key from a full-time instructor, you can copy that instructor's course and paste in the course key that instructor gives you. So this is a great way for instructors to share courses. Obviously, we want to make sure that everyone has permission, but once you have permission to share a course or to get a course from another instructor, you can enter in the course key. If you have taught with MindTap in the past, so say that you taught in fall and now you're teaching again in spring, you may simply just be making a copy of an existing course. So there's 4 different options. If you're at all not sure about which option to choose, just let us know. Rosalind and I are we're able to meet with any faculty and walk you through these steps. All right, because I've never copied it or created a MindTap course, I am simply going to create a new course. It's not customized. There's no personalizations made to it, but I'm just going to create it. So this is practical. Real estate law. Sometimes in the title, I like to put like SP21 or spring 2021 so that you kind of know which semester you used that course. And then obviously you'll give it a start date and an end date. For the end date, I typically recommend having the end date be somewhere around when grades are due, only because there always is a student or two that might be trying to work or get some work done before grades are due. So it's easier if you just have your course end around when grades are due. If you'd like, you can enter in your course days and time and your section. It's optional, up to you. But don't forget to select your time zone. All right, once you select your time zone, you just scroll down and click continue. All right, so now what we're doing is we're linking this, this MindTap course to D2L, and you're going to be presented with this screen. And what this screen is doing is it's asking you, would you like, or I should say, it's asking you, how would you like this course to flow from MindTap to D2L? Good thing is that it's an automatic score sync. So once a student completes the activity, the scores immediately follow. But the question here is, would you like one individual score column in your D2L gradebook? That would be an overall score of the activities that a student has completed in MindTap. Or would you like each of the assignments that you have assigned in MindTap to have their own unique column in D2L gradebook? Most of the time, I'm going to say instructors do select the second option because they want to see, or they want students to see, the individual scores. And then you just click continue. All right. So now that we've done that, you can go over to content. And once you go over to content, you'll be able to see within that module. So we added that to week 1. Here's that course link that we added. So this, when I click on this, it is going to take me to the main page within MindTap. All right, so it is loading. And at first there's going to be a couple pop-up windows. So I'm just going to X out of them. Shows you your course name, your course start date, end date, and a cover or a picture of the cover of your book. You can go through the guided tour if you'd like, but I'm just going to skip that. And now it shows you your MindTap course. For those of you that haven't used MindTap before, we can do we can set up a one-on-one training to go over the various activities that are in your in the MindTap for your title. But just to let you know that these pre-built activities are here for you to decide what you want to assign and what you, or I should say, what fits best with your course. So for your course, for example, like this is a real estate law course. You know, those instructors may want to focus on case problems. So they may only assign and select these case problems to bring into D2L. And these activities might complement and supplement the other activities that they have selected. All right, so we can go into another training and talk more about how to customize and personalize MindTap, but I just want to show you that I like to think of MindTap as like that library of activities. You get to decide which ones are going to best fit your course. All right, but say that you've decided which activities you want to link over into D2L. What you'll do is you'll come back to D2L, and then I'm going to go back into course tools, course admin, and then course builder. So these are the steps that you go through when you want to bring content into your D2L course. Once again, you'll see under the add content section, the little Cengage icon, and you can either drag that icon over into the module, or you can simply click on it. And when you click on it, it will pull up a window and it asks you which module would you like to add this content to. You select that, and then you'll see the course that you've added and linked to D2L. You click on select content. And then now you get to decide which activities you want to bring over. So for example, I was talking about maybe wanting the case problems. So if the case problems were an assignment that you wanted students to complete, you could check mark that. You may also want to bring over the ebook link. So a lot of times instructors want to make sure that students see their ebook. And so what they do is they would bring over a direct link to that ebook. And you may want to utilize the PowerPoints and the flashcards. So we'll bring those over also. Once you're done selecting what you want to bring into that module, you just click confirm. And then you click save. And in just a moment, we'll be redirected back to D2L. And if I click on this little plus button next to week 1, you're going to see those links that we just added. So you can reorganize these. So for example, you may want students reading before they get into some of the other assignments. So if I can get this to drop in there. There we go. Oh, I had it for a second. It's a little picky for me. Oh, there it is. There we go. So you can organize the activities in any format that you want. All right, so we've got all of those activities there, but if you come back over into the content section, now you'll be able to see what it would look like more for the students. So within week 1, the students are going to be able to see all of those activities as well as the activities that you utilize. Does anyone have any questions right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Edie. I have a question about viewing the content before you add it. For faculty that have never used MindTap, we don't know what is in the content of the quiz question, et cetera. How can we view that content and decide whether or not we want to add it? And then after we add it, how do we delete it in case we don't want it? So
right, exactly. So which courses do you teach?
I am teaching cultural diversity.
Okay.
And that's a Cengage text. And the other course is the drug addiction studies, and that's drug use and abuse. That's also a Cengage text. But okay. I don't think I have done anything yet in the courses.
And that's totally fine. What I would recommend is we can have, you have a Cengage instructor account, or if you don't have one, we'll make sure that you get one. And
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. So we can help with creating a MindTap course for both of those, with both of those titles. And then what I would recommend doing is looking at the MindTap before you bring it in. So there are far more activities in each MindTap course than what you would use. And so we would be happy to give you a walkthrough of the various activities. In fact, we a lot of times have what we call an educator's guide. And what it does is it lists off the different activities per chapter, and it gives you a little bit information about why that activity was important. Like, what was our thought process when we had designed that particular activity? So we can actually set something up with you to kind of give you a little bit overview of the activities that are available for your MindTap.
Okay.
Hi, Edie, it's Roslyn.
Hi,
I was gonna say, yeah, like let's just reach out and schedule some time and we'll look through the MindTap.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it will feel a little different for each book. Some you may have like a whole lot, and then some it may be a little bit more concise. So I think let's just schedule some time and we'll look at both Mind Taps and I'll walk you through it. And anyone else that may be using Mind Tap for the first time, feel free to reach out to me. My email address and my cell phone number is in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, because Edie, going back to your comment about, you need to kind of decide which activities you want to use and which ones that we just simply want to hide, or maybe that we just want to make set to practice. Because the students at times do look for additional practice outside of the graded homework assignments. And so you can decide whether you want those activities to be a practice activity, or if you already have an activity that works, there's no reason to not continue using what you already have developed, but we would just simply hide what's on the MindTap side so that students don't see it and then are not confused. But as Rosalind mentioned, like we can go have a training set up to go over the various changes that you can make. So you can adjust the point values for these activities, the title of the activities, and the number of attempts that students are given. So there's a lot of different instructor flexibility and control that you have within MindTap in these activities.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go back to D2L because I do want to talk about how there are times course areas where Cengage may have a title, but we may not offer any homework online tool like MindTap. Some of those upper level courses, like I'm thinking of like Italian for one, like we have Italian for the intro level, and we've got like a MindTap that is aligned with the homework that students would complete in an intro level course. But for an upper level course, we don't have a MindTap for homework, or even QuickBooks is another example that we don't have a homework tool. But what instructors can do is they can actually link the ebook only into D2L. So in situations where homework is not an option and it's not available for you to use with your students, you can link the ebook so that students have direct access right from D2L to their readings. And so I'll show you how to add that. All right, so I'm going to click on Course Tools, because once again, when you want to bring content into D2L, you're going to click on Course Tools, Course Admin, and then select Course Builder. And then on the left-hand side where it says Add Content, you're going to click on the little, actually, I'll create a new module one more time. I'm just going to call it ebook only. Ebook only. All right. And then I'm going to drag this over by my Cengage module. All right, so I'm going to add that ebook link, and I'm just going to drag the Cengage icon over to my module. And then, oh, you know what? It's not enabled. We didn't turn it on. So we have to actually turn this on for South Suburban, but there will be a tab right here that will allow instructors to link to the ebook, and it doesn't look like we've enabled that yet. And it would be listed right here, and then you can select your book. So sorry about that, but we'll make sure that if there are some of those courses, like I mentioned, where we just don't have a Cengage title, we recently just updated this integration tool so that you now can link a direct link from D2L out to the ebook. So that is something that we can do, and we'll make sure to get available for South Suburban. Does anyone have any other questions right now?
This is Patrick Dean.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Sorry I'm late. I'm actually at the college preparing my office for furniture I don't want.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, so that link to the ebook, that'll be great. So does that mean that once we can put that there, if they link on that, they get the book, but not all the other MindTap stuff?
Correct. Yeah. So that ebook link is simply used in situations where 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 we don't have courseware or homework to go along with it. Like MindTap is not available.
Okay, that's perfect. Can you email the instructions how to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Just as a
We'll
note,
send those to our adjuncts. Because some
Yeah.
of our books, like that Hinkle book, that's ours. So some of the books are not going to have all the MindTap bells and whistles.
mhm.
You said Hinkle is the title?
Well, it's the real estate one you were doing. I've got my screen expanded.
Oh, that one actually did have, that one had a MindTap with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one had a MindTap because I actually was able to add that one in.
So then a follow-up question. What I've done is I've done the deep link where I link each chapter, which is really, making it user-friendly for the student.
Yep.
Is there a way to do that ebook, even if it does have all the MindTap stuff?
Yeah, so you
Just the
can,
book?
so you can link the individual activities, but when you're using MindTap, you can also link the ebook as well.
Just the book, not all the rest of the stuff.
Yes, because with MindTap, MindTap has those activities, but then it also has the ebook integrated with it. So if I go to the Cengage app again, I'll bring it over into this module and show you. There'll be a little icon. So if I click on this, and it's a little book icon, and it's actually an open book. So if you did only want to bring in the book, you can do that. Let me see if I can get this to scroll down. See this right here? There's a little book icon, and then it does say read. So if you would bring this link in, this would bring the
Yeah, no, that
ebook
I
link.
get. So that would bring in that chapter, correct?
Correct. Yep.
What I'm wondering is there a link where we can give them just the book and nothing else? And not go chapter by chapter?
Oh, like the whole book?
Like if the equivalent of if a book did not have all the MindTap bells and whistles.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Can you email those instructions?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we're actually going to have to turn it on at South Suburban because that feature is not turned on yet.
right. Yeah, that's a feature that I think we will use. Here's my thinking. While instructors are building courses, it'd be nice to have a link to the ebook. And then as they go along, they can deep link chapter by chapter. But my students were getting a little lost running out, going from D2L. I know we go out to the Cengage site, I get that. And then they were having trouble, finding the actual chapter to read. So it'd be good if we had a link to the textbook itself for instructors who may not want to deep link each chapter for each exam. So that was new that I heard, that you have a link for the text itself and nothing else.
Right. But you had mentioned that students were having a hard time finding the ebook.
Yeah, in the beginning they were. Yeah,
okay.
Just going out. I mean, I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for the student to get there. And, for our adjuncts, I don't know if they're going to want to take the time to deep link every chapter for the particular exam or quiz that's coming up. So.
And just as a note, for some of your adjuncts, they didn't do the deep linking. They just had one link that took the students into MindTap.
Right.
So that they didn't feel like they were overwhelmed with so many links. So it does, like you said, become a preference thing. And when they have the one link in MindTap, the one link for MindTap, then They can also do all of the activities at one time.
Yep.
And they can always click into the blue book if they just want to view the actual book.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what, yeah, that's where I'm trying to get to, Rosalind, is for the student, I want to make it, this is new. I haven't heard this before, where there can be a link just to the book, nothing else, and then they can go find the chapter themselves, just as if they had the textbook in their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. When we work with your faculty, I'll make sure that we ask, do you want a deep link or do you want to just have the one link? And then we'll make sure that their students also have information about how to access the ebook. But I'm glad you brought that up because there really are two options. I've worked with one or two people on the call, and I think they really just kind of wanted the one link and let students go from there. But then some faculty will say, let's put week by week everything that's due. So again, it just depends on preference, but it's a good point that you bring up.
I like that.
Right, yeah, no, I do that, but I don't want to, I'm not beating a dead, I guess I am beating a dead horse here. I just want to link to the text and nothing else. No mind tab, no flashcards, no bells and whistles, just the text.
Okay. When we're setting you up, let's discuss that.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about my adjuncts more than anything. Because
I got you.
I think this Cengage thing is going to take off. It's already starting.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I think normally when we do trainings with faculty, we do ask them questions about like preference and how do they set up their course, because like Rosalind said, I think everyone is different. Like this week already, I've worked with instructors who set these modules up by week and another instructor sets it up by chapter. And so everyone is different. So whenever we work with instructors, we do ask them a little bit more about like what their preferences are.
Okay, thank you.
And the good thing is that it's super flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Patrick, I'll pass this on to Michael as well, so that when he's working with adjuncts in the other disciplines, that he's asking that question as well, just to kind of keeping things consistent.
Cool.
That's fine. Thank you.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions at all?
Rosalind, this is Edie again. Can you also pass that on to me for social and behavioral sciences? Because I also have child development and history, EDU. We have quite a few. So my area has quite a few adjuncts that are, this is all new, sociology classes and whatnot. So I'm going to need to help them as much as I can as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. And what Nicole and I are meeting, I think Friday, we'll talk about setting up a meeting for you all with a Calendly link that you can send out to your adjuncts and tell them that they can meet with either Nicole or myself to get them set up. And so no one has to feel like they have to figure this out alone, but they can connect with us and we'll take care of it. I know that some people are working right now. I know that I'm working, I believe, loosely for sure, Monday, Tuesday for the next 2 weeks. I'm thinking maybe Monday, Wednesday, and I'll be off the holidays. But if they're not, we will definitely have some time during that first week of January to make sure people are ready to go for when their classes start.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll send that out to the group. I'll send out to everyone what our Calendly link looks like, our scheduling link, so that people can just put time on our schedules. And we'll have when we're off blocked, so no worries. If it's open, they can schedule that time.
Yeah.
Oh, terrific. Thank you.
No problem.
Well, that is all we had today. I don't know, Lisa, if you had anything, but Rosalind, I do actually have one more thing that we may want to tell the faculty that are on the line today, is in regards to the support that we have for instructors, but then also for students in spring semester.
Oh, yes. So for the spring semester, outside of us helping you guys with the customization and the integration, one of the things that I would like to push a little bit more at South Suburban for the spring is virtual class starts. So on the very first day of class, either the first or the second, depending on how many of you all take me up on this, but jumping into your class and walking them through the registration process so that they know how to get into their resources and where their resources are. Very honestly, I felt like some of the students really struggled because they weren't following the directions that you guys gave them. And once they spent like an hour trying to figure it out, they got to me and it took 5 minutes. So I want to help eliminate the frustration by coming in during, that first week of class at some point and walking them through it, but then also letting them know that I'm going to have virtual office hours. So my virtual office hours are where they can jump into a Zoom with me. I usually tell them to be on a laptop so that they can share their screen, and I just get them registered in that moment. So the student who says they just can't do it and they're not tech savvy, you guys are not tech support. That's what I'm here for. So send them to me, and you can send them my virtual hours, or you can just have them email me, and then I'll have them jump into Zoom and we'll take care of it. And then I usually try to even email you, especially if you have a student that's pretty vocal. If you let me know who they are, once they connect with me, I typically do respond back to you and say, hey, I spoke to this student. Here's what's going on. Here's how I fixed it.
Awesome.
So you get a lot of information from me at the top of the year.
I have one final question. This is Edie again.
Yeah.
To access MindTap, we could do it actually in the Cengage site. So I can have faculty start there and take a look and feel around and then start, trying to decide how they're going to manage their course in MindTap.
Correct.
So
And if you
okay, so some of the adjuncts don't have access right now, Cengage accounts, but they will be contacting you by email.
Right, I was just
I
going
know
to
they
say,
can do it at the Cengage site, right? But they really need a lot of help with this. This is hard for them to.
right. And if it's easier, feel free to email Roslyn a list of the faculty that are going to be teaching in spring, unless it's already published at the books or at the campus website. But we can go through the list and make sure that they have instructor accounts ahead of time.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was something, Edie, when you said that, I was like, oh, and it popped up and now it's gone. I'll email you guys if it comes back. No, it's okay. I tell you, these moments are coming more often than they used to.
I did get a request. I think I sent you an email this morning, Rosalind, requesting a hard copy of a textbook for one of the faculty members. She was one that was kind of experiencing some doubts about her ability to successfully work with D2L and MindTap. And she needed a hard copy of the text. I think I sent it to you. I may have also CC'd Michael on it.
Maybe it went to Michael if it was his discipline, because I didn't see anything from you. So it may have went to Michael. But I just remember the thought was, if you didn't use MindTap in the fall and you're using it in the spring, reach out to me, just because I am working with Lisa and Cindy in the bookstore to make sure that they have the right book and the book that we all have the same thing. So I would say, if there's any question, just reach out to me, because I know there were a few people in the fall that wanted MindTap, the bookstore didn't have it. They added it really quick, but just to eliminate that step for the spring. So if you need to double check your book with me, please feel free to.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Will do. Thank you.
One last question.
Uh-huh.
Damon, you'll have to refresh my memory. When we started in the fall, you guys had to do something on the back end so that the grading features in MindTap was shut off. Now, you got to help me here, but it's for an instructor like me who doesn't use MindTap for grading. I just deliver content, PowerPoints, chapters, videos. and you had to do something on the back end, is that still gonna have to happen this spring as well? Does that happen every semester?
We
Actually-
should actually be able to, oh, sorry, Nicole.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually, when you move from one term to the next, course copy is super easy and it requires very little work on setting up. So when you copy your D2L shell from fall into spring, any of the ebook links that you have will copy over as well. And all you need to do is simply click on one of the links and it will become active.
Okay,
And
so,
Patrick, that's what we're gonna review when we do your discipline, because you're in that CUI pilot. We're gonna focus that training on copying courses because the majority of your faculty would have done this the first time.
Yep.
right, but then, for instance, and I've looked at D2L in terms of copying to the next semester, so I'm not frightened of that. But for instance, I teach Business Law 203 in the spring, which was not a fall course. So then do I have to tell you guys to shut off that back end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For any new course, we have to let you know to shut tell me what I'm supposed to tell you.
I think
just
all we
told-
probably did was just make them practice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just what you said is fine. We know what you mean. But yeah, we just said it's a practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? These are good questions.
Mhm.
I have one last question regarding grades and quizzes. Because with Moodle, we all were in Moodle, at least most of us in my area last term. Are these quizzes, they're automatically graded and put into, I guess not put in the grade book. So I think I've got the same question or concern that Pat Dean had. If we're gonna grade in D2L or MindTap, I guess that's the decision we have to make at this point.
There are. Mhm.
If we're grading in MindTap and then we have to actually submit grades in D2L, is there any way we can just, have D2L house the grades that come out of, the scores that come out of MindTap for quizzes?
Yes, you can actually. So when you bring over the links for any graded activity in MindTap, it also creates a column in your D2L gradebook. So when a student completes an activity, for example, the case problem, once a student hits submit, the score will appear in the MindTap gradebook and then will automatically flow to the D2L gradebook. So you wouldn't need to export grades and then import them into D2L. They'll just automatically appear.
One thing that was interesting last fall was I had a faculty that wanted the individual grades, but did not want all of the links.
Mhm.
And so we can also, if you decide you just don't want all of the links, but you want the individual grades and you want them to just feed from one MindTap, we can also hide the links so that they don't see all of the links, but you're still getting the individual grades. Those specialized things, again, we'll talk about those things when we're talking one-on-one, but I also just kind of wanted to put that out there just in case you're like, oh, all of these links are gonna drive me crazy. So there are workarounds to make sure that the grade book works and you're getting what you need.
Yeah.
What I can't figure out, Nicole will, so we'll.
Yeah. We will.
Okay.
She's my superstar.
We will.
Okay, great.
Now, I have a question, Rosalind. The deep link will take you directly to the assignment, or will it take you to MindTap generally?
Directly to the assignment. So Nicole just clicked on one of those links and we're going to see what happens. What should happen is it'll take you directly into that assignment. So then students don't have to figure out where to click, which might be nice for some students, because then hopefully they can just go down the list and check. Okay,
Right.
I did it. So see how it took us it launched us right into that actual case problems in chapter 1 when she clicked that link.
Right. And it could take the student directly to the flashcards or to the ebook. Whatever link is in D2L, it will take the student directly to that specific activity.
Thank you.
Mhm.
No problem. Good question. Any other questions?
No, I'm sorry I was late. Thank you for doing this. It was helpful.
Yeah.
Enjoy your holidays. I'm going to drop out.
Thank
All right.
you.
You have a
See you
safe
soon,
and happy
Patrick.
holiday.
Yeah, you guys be
Happy
good.
holidays, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be in
Hi,
touch with
Dr.
you for sure.
Johnson. Oh,
Okay. Hi.
okay. Thank you. Thank you, Edie.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
guys. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Guys, take care.
Talk to you Friday, Dr. Waddy.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, let me see.